Welcome to this new video about Forza Horizon 6 today. We're going to look at the secrets, mysteries, and hidden little details of the game. I have a lot to show you. I really spent the last few weeks saving them up for this video. There are things I found by myself, things I found on the internet, on Reddit, and also things I found in the comments of my own videos. Things that you pointed out to me. There might be some things in this list of little secrets that you already know. There are probably plenty that you'll discover, and there are probably still a lot more to discover in the game. If you know more, please share them in the comments. We might make a second episode. Everything I'm going to show you today covers really varied aspects of the game. It could be a detail about a car, a hidden spot in the open world, a hidden gameplay feature. It's really going to be very broad. In any case, I hope you'll like this concept. If you do, don't hesitate to show it by leaving a like to boost this video's ranking, and by subscribing for the next ones I'll make on YouTube. First thing, pretty cool, in Forza Horizon 6 there are a lot of references to Initial D. And of course, there's the presence of the Toyota Trueno, which has a neat little detail on the Forza edition. When you look in interior view, you see on the center console, in the cup holder, a small cup with water in it. It's a direct reference to the same cup in Initial D. The cup has a unique feature. It responds to the game's physics, so when you turn, the water in the cup moves slightly. And just so you know, no, unfortunately, if you take very sharp turns in the game, you can't knock the cup over. There's also the presence of this section of road called Mount Haruna in Forza Horizon 6, which is literally the layout of Mount Akina, a place that's featured a lot in the real Initial D anime. There's also this trailer for Forza Horizon 6, in which the game's developers recreated the famous duel between the yellow RX-7 and the white and black Toyota Trueno from Initial D. And there's another one that I discovered thanks to you. Thanks to the live chat on YouTube, which I find incredible. At this spot, on the map, just below the Bandai Azuma Tuj, you have this small road with this little cluster of houses, and you'll find this house, which is completely unique. In Forza Horizon 6, there are others that are kind of copy-pasted. This one isn't. For the simple reason that it's literally the same house that takes on the style of the tofu shop from Initial D. What's pretty cool about Forza Horizon is that the game is well known enough to make references to itself. And in the last races of the game, especially in the race when you arrive on the Island of Legends, you will see several well-known characters from the Forza Horizon universe again, especially Darius Flynn, the final boss of Forza Horizon 1, who will show up on the road with his Viper, but also Ramona Kravitz and Zaki Malik, who were two other characters maybe a little less important in Forza Horizon 1, but still, they were there. Ramona Kravitz was the final boss of the off-road races, and Zaki Malik was the final boss of the road races. There's another cool reference, not to Initial D or Forza Horizon, but to the movie Fast and Furious, specifically Fast and Furious 3. That's why some in the community believe we'll see a Fast and Furious Drift expansion in Forza Horizon 6. But indeed, you have this car, the 1968 Ford Mustang Forza Edition, which is a big reference to Fast and Furious 3. It's exactly the same car that the main character uses at the end of the movie to face Drift King's Nissan Z. That is, a Ford Mustang coupe with exactly this livery, customizations that look exactly the same. And most importantly, the car is engine swapped with a Nissan RB26er. So, I still have plenty of things like this to show you on Forza Horizon 6. But before I keep showing them to you, I'm going to talk to you about today's video sponsor, which is Eldorado, eldorado.gg. It's the ideal gaming marketplace, where you can buy different services for the games you play. On Eldorado.gg, everything is made to be simple. You choose what you need, you pay, you receive your order quickly, and you get back to playing without any hassle. The big advantage is mainly security. All sellers of items and services are verified, and all transactions are protected with the Trust Shield system. There's customer support available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. There's a money-back guarantee if your order doesn't go as planned. Eldorado has many very positive reviews on Trustpilot, so it's really quite reliable, and the site now also offers services for Forza Horizon 6. Check it out yourself. I'll share the Eldorado link in the description and top comment. Use code ECONOX for exclusive discounts on your order. Thanks to Eldorado for sponsoring. Let's get back to it. You probably noticed, it's something that got quite a bit of criticism in Forza Horizon 6. In this game, unlike Forza Horizon 5, you can literally break every tree you come across in the forests, except for one type of tree, the cherry trees. Here, the cherry tree isn't in bloom, so it's not pink and hard to recognize as the stereotypical Japanese cherry tree, regardless of trunk size. For example, the one in front has a smaller trunk than those we broke in the forest earlier, but it doesn't break. There are several reasons for this. The most likely and probable explanation is that the developers wanted to preserve as much respect as possible for Japanese culture, since the cherry tree is especially appreciated in Japan. I think, quite simply, they wanted to prevent players from destroying them. By the way, since I'm in this area, I'll take the opportunity to show you another little thing, another cool reference. This store, which is right in front of Mount Fuji, is a reference to a real store. A well-known convenience store in Japan is located right in front of Mount Fuji. There are many photos of this small grocery store and gas station online. Kind of in that style. You can see a cool car behind the convenience store with Mount Fuji just behind it. It's cool they thought to do that. By the way, a little detail you might have noticed in Forza Horizon 6, there are several stores that make a bit of noise. For example, if you stay there for a while, well, yes, it just rang. In front of a grocery store like this one, you'll hear a little beep. You know, it's the beeps you hear when someone enters a store to signal that a customer just walked in. And in the same way, at this spot on the map, right at the intersection where I am, there's this game station, which is a replica of a real game store that exists in Tokyo. In Japan, it's actually a chain of game retail stores. If you park next to it, you'll hear music reminiscent of old arcade machines. I also have some Forza Horizon 6 gameplay details to show you. Here's a tip, not really a secret. In Forza Horizon 6, there's a skill system. Let me know if you've noticed this too. There. It's the score that shows up at the top when I'm drifting, when you do jumps. In short, there's a counter that goes up and gives you points. At the end, you get skill points to buy car bonuses. Skill points are lost if you hit another car. I'll show you. If I build up some score but then crash into a car or wall, my score resets and I earn nothing. There's a little trick in Forza Horizon 6. When you're drifting and you realize you're about to hit a car, for example, some traffic, before you actually hit it, you press start to pause the game, and that will keep your skill score. And since the game is multiplayer and you're synced with the servers, the car will keep moving and move out of the way like I did here. When you exit the pause menu, it will have either passed through you or be gone, letting you collect your skill score. No problem, I'll show you again. Look, I pause. The car goes by and I calmly get my skill score back. There's also a launch control system in Forza Horizon 6, which you can activate by going into difficulty settings, and then to launch standing start control. You need to set it to yes, and then here's what it does. When you press the handbrake button and the accelerator button, your car will rev up to the optimal RPM, which gives it the best possible acceleration for a drag race, for example, or for a standing start. Then, you just have to release the handbrake, and the car will launch right away at that optimized RPM, without any burnout. And that's actually pretty cool. There's also an autopilot system in Forza Horizon 6 that works like this. You set a destination on your GPS, any destination, then you press the down arrow, the left arrow, and you're good to go. The car drives itself. I just clap and the game plays for me. What's cool, and what I wanted to show, is you can press LB on your controller to enter cinematic mode, with a camera that will follow your car along the way, showing you different camera angles. And I think that's actually pretty cool. On the other hand, the thing I really don't think is cool at all is that you can also use this automatic driving system during races. You can literally ask the game to race for you, and I think that's a bit much, especially since Forza Horizon 6 still offers very advanced difficulty options. And you can set the story progression to guaranteed, which means that even if you lose races, you can still progress through the story. And you can lower the speed of the game in offline mode, in solo mode, to slow it down so that driving becomes easier for you. Really, there's no excuse. Something you might not have noticed is the fact that the developers have changed every aspect of the tires. Now, when you switch to a Gum Street, a Gum Sport, Slick, or Semi-Slick, it doesn't matter. All the tires really have a complete design, much more detailed than what we had back in the days of Forza Horizon 5+. There are little colored lines to show you directly which tire you have. Speaking of tire details, you should know that the Michelin brand is hidden in Forza Horizon 6. I think it's because of a licensing issue. I don't think they're allowed to display their logo. But there are several cars that, in real life, have Michelin liveries or Michelin stickers on the tires or on the body, where it simply doesn't appear in the game, like for example on the Peugeot 207 S2000. And it's pretty surprising because other tire brands are present in the game, like Dunlop. Dunlop, you can pronounce it however you want, are actually present in Horizon 6. Why not Michelin? We don't know, but they're absent. There are quite a few nice modeling details on the cars, like on the Nissan Skyline R32. They recreated the IKS system on this car. It's a system with rear-wheel steering on the vehicle. That means, of course, the front wheels of the car will turn, which is normal, but the rear wheels also turn. You see, it's a system that really existed, that was actually on this car, where the rear wheels, when you're driving slowly or when you're stopped, will turn in the opposite direction of the front wheels to simply help with handling the car, for example, when making a maneuver like parallel parking. And there are other pretty cool details on this car, like for example in the trunk, they recreated a real option that actually existed, a VCR, which was an extremely rare option, with a Sony VCR in the trunk that allowed you to load several tapes and listen to whatever music you wanted in your car. I think that's really cool, and that wasn't the case in Horizon 5. And there's another super cool detail in the same vein on the Honda City. The old one, not the new one, not the electric one. We're talking about the old Honda City from the 80s. Back then, this car was actually sold by Honda with a pretty strange option. It was sold with a motorcycle in the trunk, the famous Motocompo. And well, they've recreated it in Forza Horizon 6. You have that famous mini motorcycle ready in the trunk, just waiting to be taken out and used by the drivers. The idea back then was that Honda wanted to offer a car that allowed Japanese citizens to get close to big cities, park on the outskirts, and finish their trip to work or to the store, for example, with a little moped to avoid overcrowding the city and to avoid traffic jams. Another little detail about the 2004 Honda Civic Type R this time is that it finally has the right front bumper. So, I don't know why, but until now in Forza Horizon and Forza Motorsport, this car was a facelift model with a pre-facelift front bumper. Now we finally have the facelift front bumper. It's visible everywhere except on the car's thumbnail. When you look at the thumbnail here, it still has the pre-facelift front bumper, which is pretty weird. Another small modeling detail. Until now, the Ford Focus RS in the previous Forza Horizon and Forza Motorsport games had a little bug, or at least a small modeling oddity. Inside this car, on the steering wheel, it wasn't the RS logo at the bottom, it was the ST logo. Well, now they've fixed it. Look, at the bottom of the steering wheel, there's the RS logo. And also on the Koenigsegg Aventador, there have been quite a few changes to the interior modeling of the car, especially the famous ball that's in the middle of the dashboard. The ball, which wasn't functional in Horizon 5, was static, but now, in Horizon 6 it works. And it's actually an accelerometer that shows the lateral and vertical forces your car experiences when you accelerate hard or take a sharp turn. However, where they messed up a bit is in the foreground with the steering wheel. Normally, the gauge doesn't move. It doesn't turn with the steering wheel. It stays fixed. And I don't know why, but that's still not fixed. Driving-wise too, there are quite a few interesting little things that you don't notice at first, like the way the clutch is managed. I mentioned it briefly in a video focused on driving with a wheel. The clutches were indeed reworked in Forza Horizon 6, but I hadn't realized just how different and difficult it was. I had noticed that the clutch sensitivity was completely different when you had a car with a stock clutch compared to a racing clutch, which wasn't the case back in Forza Horizon 5. But now, especially, there's something pretty cool. On manual cars, obviously, when you play with the clutch enabled, which you set by going into difficulty and selecting manual with clutch, you need to press the clutch button to shift gears quickly, like this, for example. With modern cars, automatics or those with paddle shifters and automated manual transmissions, the game doesn't require clutch management, as it's handled automatically, just like in real life. For example, the Ferrari G50. Some other details are really cool, even if they're secondary. For example, I love that the brakes squeak. Listen, when I brake, you can hear a little squeak. I think that's super cool. It's a little detail that didn't exist back in the days of Horizon 5 either. If you want another one that's kind of like that, a bit subtle and maybe not very useful for gameplay, but still, when you turn the wheels on dirt, it doesn't make the same sound as when you turn the wheels on asphalt. And it doesn't make the same sound when you turn them in the snow. By the way, speaking of snow, actually, in Forza Horizon 6 we all might have noticed when watching the first gameplay videos, there's smoke coming out of the car's exhaust pipes, which didn't exist in Horizon 5, for example. In Horizon 6, this smoke won't be the same, and won't have the same density when you're in a cold area, like in the mountains, where, because of the cold and humidity, there's a lot of smoke coming out of the exhaust pipes, compared to a warmer area, where there's almost no smoke except maybe during heavy acceleration. I think that's cool too. We're going to finish this video by talking about 2 secret locations in Forza Horizon 6. Just before that, of course, if you enjoyed this video and want more, I invite you to support my channel for free by following me on Twitch for upcoming live streams. It's important. The link will be in the comments, and I often stream in English, including multiplayer with viewers. Follow and use your Prime. It's always appreciated. Also, check out today's video sponsor, eldorado.gg. With this sponsor, I can spend more time making longer videos and researching more. The first thing is that, indeed, you can go to the roof of the Forza Horizon 6 Stadium, which is all the way at the bottom left of the map, right here, the big Forza Horizon 6 stadium. You can get onto the roof by taking a jump that's right here. You teleport to this road, the big straight line. And at the very end, there's a kind of ramp that lets you get on top. So, you need to take a car that's pretty fast because the distance you have to cover is quite long. We'll try to do this on the first attempt. You see? There we go. We're not doing too bad. And here indeed we're on the roof of the Ford Arena 6 Stadium and we can stay here. We can drive on it. And well, that's it. It's a secret. And to finish, there's this place right here. On the map precisely to the south. Not very far from the lake. The interesting thing about this place, more of a theory than a secret, is that it's a tunnel being built. And many people think that this will be the entrance to the first, or maybe the second expansion of Forza Horizon 6. Because this tunnel, for now, doesn't have an exit. Nowhere. There are many people who think that we'll be able to enter this tunnel, and that after a loading screen or some kind of gateway, we'll be able to go to one of the map expansions of Forza Horizon 6. It's true that it kind of reminds you of the system that blocked access to the estate, to the property, before it was accessible, as long as you didn't have the right wristband. Well, there was construction in the middle of the road and you couldn't pass. I wish it were true. It would be great if Forza Horizon 6 had a map expansion you could access seamlessly, without loading or teleporting, just like previous Forza Horizon games. It really improves immersion. But it has to be said, in Forza Horizon 4 for a very long time, a lot of us were waiting for a map expansion at the bridge that was all the way at the top. Next to Edinburgh, there was a bridge that was under construction and for years, for months, we all thought it would be the access point to a new expansion in Forza Horizon 4. An expansion that never came. So, let me know what you think about it. Does this theory make sense to you or not at all? Anyway, I've covered all the little secret things I knew about Far Cry 6. If you know any others, leave them in the comments below this video. I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Take care and have fun gaming, everyone. Bye.